All right, everybody, what is going on? Good evening. Coming in here with a slightly later than usual video because things are starting to move a little bit on the most important level for the Seattle Seahawks. And by the way, I got a little numbness in my mouth, so if I sound a little bit funny, that would probably be why. But I did want to check in with a video about the latest news concerning the Seattle Seahawks being sold because we do have some new updates as of earlier today. Various sources have reported this. We got a front office sports tweet talking about it, but I've seen it from other people as well. So it's pretty credible and it's worth paying attention to. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks, and I would call this a twist, but unfortunately, the twist here, and I will just go ahead and acknowledge this now, the twist is that there's not really a twist. And that is not me saying this is bad. I don't think there's any way to know if what we are looking at right now as Seahawks fans, as it pertains to the selling of this team, is good or bad. So let's talk a little bit about what we have here. Unfortunately, it's basically the same thing we talked about months ago. So as of right now, there seem to be two entities that are bidding on the Seahawks. There are two front runners to buy the Seahawks, and everyone else that may or may not have been involved has been pushed out. Now, one group is the Celtics group, the Adita Mittal and Grousbeck group, which we talked about a few months ago. And the other group is led by Vinod Khosla, the 49ers minority investor. Now, for those of you with good memories, you may recall that those are the two groups that we talked about months ago when initial reports of who might be interested in buying the Seahawks started to come out. So when you get through these last couple of months here, you're expecting new names to emerge, new entities to come out. You're expecting maybe some last second guy to swoop in and show interest. Maybe it happened, but as of right now, it doesn't look like anyone else is involved. So that's why I say this is the most uninteresting outcome, because these are the guys we talked about months ago. Now, nothing's over yet. I don't think that it's completely set in stone that one of these groups is going to acquire the Seahawks, but it's overwhelmingly likely that it will be one of the two groups. And as Dan Vienne points out in his tweet over here, Ballmer, who a lot of people wanted, apparently never really got involved. So the possibility of another bidder emerging is listed by FO Sports as being possible, but it seems like it's going to be one of these two. And we can talk a little bit about these guys again, but I made a video a few months ago talking about these groups already. And number one, we don't know everybody who's going to be involved in the two groups. And number two, with the possible exception of Grousbeck, we have no idea how they're going to do owning a sports team. We can make a couple of inferences and assumptions. We can make a couple of general statements. But overall, we are looking at a situation where we just kind of have to hope things work out, because I don't think you can really know how somebody's going to do owning a sports team until they actually do own a sports team. If you like sports, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using the Prize Picks app, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, and obviously we are now firmly into the NFL offseason, so we're all about baseball. We got some basketball, we got some hockey, whatever it is you like. Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. Definitely make sure to use the promo code HMA. Prize Picks is hooking up users with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. If you use that promo code, that is HMA. I've had a great time on Prize Picks so far, so definitely get on over to it, check it out, and make sure to get your lineups. And don't forget about Team Picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So download the app now, use HMA, and get on over to Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. Right. So, what I can say about these groups with the guys that are kind of headlining the two entities, you have Adita Mittal, and by the way, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing these names. I likely am. This is not somebody that we know a lot about prior to his to him getting involved in potentially buying the Seattle Seahawks, but born in India, raised in Indonesia, worth many billions of dollars, although by himself he cannot possibly hope to afford this team. So he's definitely going to be leading a group. Now, the thing with Mittal that can't help but give me pause is the fact that he lives in London. And I understand that he won't be the face of this ownership group, but that just doesn't feel like what I really want to get involved in. And again, you can't know for sure until they actually buy the team, but I think there's just something kind of implied with having an owner of your American sports team that lives in London that makes you wonder how invested he's going to be, because his money is going to be one of the most influential pieces of ownership of the team. I know that Grousbeck might be the public face of the ownership group, but Mittal will probably own a much bigger piece of the team personally. Now, again, Grousbeck, if he gets the team, if his group gets the team, will probably be the public face. Now, a couple of different things with Grousbeck. Number one, he's been an owner of a team before with the Celtics. He owned the Celtics from 2002 to 2025, and now he's the CEO and alternate governor, whatever that means. But he was good. He was good. The Celtics were mostly good during that era. The Celtics had a lot of good seasons. They won a couple of championships. And according to what I've seen and what I've heard, he did a good job in terms of being the owner that a major sports team owner needs to be. Involved, but not intrusive. Desiring to win, willing to do whatever it takes to win, but not to the extent that he actually starts getting in his own way. Like you do look at Grousbeck and you see a guy who has proven that he can be a quality owner of a sports team in American sports. So right off the bat, you're looking at this and you're like, okay, that seems like it might be the right kind of thing. The issue I have there, though, is he does live on the East Coast. And again, maybe that changes if he acquires the team, because if he acquires the team, even as a minority owner, that would become his biggest, the biggest involvement that he has with pretty much anything going on in his life, because he's just a CEO and alternate governor of the Celtics now. But again, it's just this thing where you can't help but get a uneasy sense about having ownership that isn't even associated with your area of the country. So when I think about a guy like Wick Grousbeck, I see some of the good stuff, but I also see some of the stuff that I don't that puts me that makes me a little bit uneasy. Is he actually going to be that involved when he's 3,000 miles away, or almost 3,000 miles away? So those are my thoughts on that group. There is some good stuff there, and again, we can't know for sure until it actually happens. But overall, it's a little bit mixed, and I'm a little bit uneasy about having guys own the team who don't have any connection to the area. And I want to be clear about something. It's not because I'm worried about the team being sold. It's not because I think this team, or excuse me, being moved. I don't think that's a possibility. I want to put that out there right now. I don't believe this team is ever going to be moved to another state or city or whatever. That's not something I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking about the level of care and involvement on the part of the ownership. Now, the other guy, or the other group, is led by Vinod Khosla, a 49ers investor. He's previously given some money to the 49ers. He's another billionaire. He's another guy who's worth quite a bit of money, although not enough by himself to actually buy the entire team. Another guy who was born in India, and he is a Silicon Valley guy. he lives in the Bay Area. So that's the West Coast. So that's one thing that stands out to me. Number one, on the West Coast. So at the very least, it's in the ballpark. I know he doesn't live in Washington. I know he doesn't have a tremendous connection to the Washington area, but at least it's kind of close. At least it feels like he's part of this part of the area. So I do look at that and I go, that might be a little bit more my speed. And beyond all that, like I said, he's been a 49ers minority investor, so there is reason to believe that he cares about sports at least a little bit, and that to me is pretty encouraging, because not only is it a sport, it's the sport that we're talking about him buying a team of. This isn't like him investing in a cricket team or a soccer team where it's a little bit apples and oranges. No, it's the same league. It's the same division even. So I do kind of like that idea. I'm fine with it. But again, sometimes in this case, we just will not know until it actually happens. Like if it had been Steve Ballmer, that I could have taken on faith. That I could have been like, okay, we're fine. We're good. He's going to be a good owner. And I know this because he's been a good owner for the Clippers. These guys, you're just going to have to wait and see. And that's not me saying anything negative about them. I'm not going to go into it with like a negative assumption of the fact that they're going to be bad owners, but they're going to have to prove it. All right, so that's what I got. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. That's what's going on. And to me, it's a little bit disappointing that we couldn't get another name thrown in there. Even if it wasn't Ballmer, somebody new. Again, these are the same guys we talked about months ago. There was plenty of reporting about how other people were throwing their hat in the ring, and now here we are in the same spot. All right, go Hawks.